The multiplayer mode in GoldenEye was added last minute, without the knowledge of Rare and Nintendo. Welcome to Professionally Casual Gamers, the podcast where two friends kick back after a long work week and casually talk about everything gaming. I'm your host, Ralph, joined by my co-host and Nanako superfan, Alex.
I totally forgot that was in there. Oh, man. I'm doing great. And yeah, you know what? 100%. No shame. I am a Nanako super fan. I'll get into that later with Persona 4 Golden, I guess. But
could you explain?
Yeah, happy to be here. What are you up to, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Could you explain, as a little sprinkle in the start for our listeners, who is Nanako?
Nanako Dojima is, I guess, the little sister character for the main protagonist in Persona 4. And I don't know, she's in like elementary school and she's just freaking adorable. It's great.
That's awesome. Well, today we're kicking off episode 10, the big 10. We're in the double digits, baby. As always, thank you to everyone who listens to our podcast each week. We always appreciate it. And if you're tuning in for the very first time, welcome. So a little bit of housekeeping. We're playing Hades for Video Games Book Club and have given away a free copy to one of our professional casuals.
Sure did.
We'll be talking about the game later on in the podcast. So if you guys are going to be playing Hades with us, please send us an email or send us a DM on our social media. We'd love to hear how things are going. This episode is a little bit different. Alex and I are recording this ahead of time, and it is Tuesday night because he's traveling to a remote location to destroy a Mako reactor to save our planet. So there's going to be...
So one thing you need to know is Shinra, the guys, the company that's ahead of the Mako reactors, they're not really too keen on mask policy, so... Going over there to show them a little something, and then I need to quarantine for 2 weeks afterwards, like a responsible
Alex needs to save
member.
this pizza pie of a planet that we have. So it's a little bit different this week. It's going to be a little bit less news because we are recording on a Tuesday, but one fun thing about it is that we're going to be talking a little bit more topical questions for everyone.
Ooh.
But before I grill Alex with thought-provoking questions, what are you playing, Alex?
All right, so given that the last time we spoke about video games was on Saturday and now it's Tuesday, not a whole lot has changed. I know we're both playing Hades, so we can talk about that in a hot second, but I have played a little bit more of Persona 4 Golden, and that's been pretty great. I finished Rise's Dungeon. I'm about to go into this kind of 8-bit video game world. I'm like literally right about to go into it, and I was going to, but I was like, I should probably check out Hades too, so I'll have more stuff to talk about for today, and I was happy I made that choice, but... I'm excited to play some more Persona 4 Golden, getting to know some of the confidants more, leveling up the rank with my girl Nanako, of course. She's like the little sister character. She's like so innocent. I'm the youngest in my family, so I've never had the pleasure or displeasure, I don't know, of growing up with a younger sibling.
Dude, you're the big
she's
bro.
Great. Like every time there's this like made up franchise, a store called Junes.
It's real to her, Alex. It's real to her.
Yeah, it really is. It's kind of like a super Walmart, I guess. I don't know. And they have this catchy theme that plays on the TV, and every time the theme song plays, she sings along with it, and your heart just melts a little bit inside every time. So the game is great. She's great. And yeah, honestly, it's a nice problem we're both having because we both are playing really good games, and then on top of that, we're playing Hades, which we're like, wait, I want to play this, but I also want to play that. So a good first world problem, I guess, to have.
No, totally understandable. So with this new dungeon, it's been a while since I played Persona 4. Do you know who it's for? Or?
Yeah, it's for like the guy who they believe is in charge of the murders.
Oh, okay.
And then like, I mean, it's not even like really a spoiler because we're only on month, I want to say I'm in like August. So that's like pretty much, that's like pretty early into the calendar. So like obviously this isn't the real guy. So we'll figure out like why he's in the situation in the first place. Yeah, and what his motives are, like if he was tricked or something like that. So it's good stuff. Got Teddy into the party. I don't think I'm going to use him, even though I love Teddy. He's probably my favorite Persona character in general.
He's very cool.
Dude, he just slings around those bear puns. But he's great. He seems like more of like a primary healer. Or maybe he's tanky too. But yeah, healing seems like more of his forte. And I don't really think I need that in my party right now. But yeah, it is a shame because he's great. Love him.
Man, it's been a while since I played Persona 4. And for some reason, I remember the boss fight of that dungeon, but I don't remember the person. So that's a little bit weird. That boss fight is really cool. That boss fight is super cool.
Like black lemur eyes.
Yeah,
he's creepy.
Do not remember it, but the boss fight is super cool. I think that's a really interesting boss fight there. With Teddy,
looking forward to it.
I see. I don't want to spoil, but wait, you've already seen who Teddy is, though, right?
Yes, he has his real form.
What do you mean his real form?
Or like his human form.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm like, there is no real form. Teddy is just Teddy.
He's got like he's like randomly a blonde dude.
Yeah,
like an androgynous blonde kid.
It's also really funny because in Persona there is a persona called Alice, and Alice is this death persona. It's one of the strongest death persona that you can summon. I was talking to Alex about this about Persona 5. I think there's a scene or a moment in the game where Teddy dresses up as like a girl, and it's literally Alice, and it's super funny to me.
Oh, okay, that's funny.
Yeah,
nice. Yeah, and then I think after this dungeon, they're talking about like going to the beach and all that, which is it's like
classic.
A staple for it's a staple, one for anime and two for just Persona games in general, because like on these special trips, like there's always shenanigans that go down. So it'll be a nice treat for completing the dungeon because they're hilarious, and again like the synergy between the main cast of characters is just amazing, and it just it fits so well.
Yeah, and sort of related to Persona, it's not on the Runner Show because it's just something super small. It looks like Persona Scramble is being delayed in the West, and I'm really bummed about it.
Again, I feel like.
And I was looking forward to playing Persona Scramble because it's a canon version of a game, because there's a lot of Persona spin-offs here and there, the dancing games, the rhythm games, the fighting games, the labyrinth games. There's a lot of non-canon Persona games. And so with Persona Scramble, because it was a canon part of like a continuation of Persona 5, I was really looking forward to playing that game. But I'm assuming because of COVID, localization of that game has really slowed down. And the reason people think it's being delayed is because it was not part of Atlas or maybe not Atlas. Was it Konami? Konami makes the Musou games, right? Not Konami. Koei Tecmo.
Koei Tecmo.
Yeah. It wasn't part of Koei Tecmo's financial report for this year, so that's a bummer.
That's so weird because it came out.
It's already out in
like
February.
Spring.
Yeah, it came out February last year in Japan, and I'm almost tempted to just play it in Japanese, but I just wouldn't enjoy it as much.
That would not be worth it.
Yeah, so it's still good on Persona 4. You're gonna try and finish that out.
I mean, it'll take me a hot second, but I'm definitely planning on completing it. Yeah.
All right, new plan. You're gonna buy a Vita. You're going to take the Vita with you to the undisclosed location.
to the Mako
reactor and play that while you're away.
Well, so I have it on my laptop. And it's a 14-inch laptop, so it's like pretty portable.
Uh-huh. It's going to be super funny on the plane where people are like looking and then it's like, who is this?
I know, because one of the confidants is like the nurse who's like very seductive and like voluptuous.
I thought that was going to be that was best girl for you. Did you change?
No, I mean, she's funny, but like, no, probably Rise.
Rise?
Yeah, of course.
I'm a Yukiko man
Yeah,
myself.
yeah. I'm a fan of Yukiko. I really like her personality. Mesh as well.
I'm starting to see a trend with the type of people you like in Persona, Alex. Why are you laughing? Because you know deep down, deep down what that means, Alex.
Oh my god, coming at my life. How I interact in a video game is not the same as how I act in the real world.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That I believe you. Speak your truth, Alex. Speak your truth.
Okay, so anyways, you're playing Watch Dogs Legion, right?
Yes, I am still playing Watch Dogs Legion. I am thoroughly enjoying that game still. It's very interesting, and I'm just surprised on how they built that out. I can see.
How's your grandma doing in that game? Is she still owning people?
I stopped using my grandma, man.
You stopped using Granny?
Yeah, I stopped using Granny. It's
Oh my god, Granny Pineda. Oh my god.
I'm playing Watch Dogs Legion, I think the way the developers want me to play it. So switching my
Persona.
my operatives for the right tasks. So recently I've been using my construction worker so much, dude.
Oh, the hard hat guy?
Yeah.
Oh, with the nail gun, right?
Yeah, with the nail gun. But the reason I've been using the construction worker is that, so with the operatives that you recruit for DedSec, they will have, like I said in the previous episode, they will have their set abilities. So the construction worker has a construction worker outfit. So if you go into a construction site, people really don't pay attention to you as long as you're not close to them. They have a nail gun and they can summon a cargo drone. But in addition,
as construction workers are known to do,
it's the future, Alex. It's the future. So the other thing too is that you can get these. I forgot what they are, but they're points that you find around the world, and then you can unlock different abilities that all of the operatives can use. Be it you're unlocking a gun, a spider robot that can infiltrate a factory or something, or you can find a way to jam guns of the enemies, things like that.
Okay.
With the construction worker robot, I've essentially used this invisibility cloak. So there's a ability where you can turn
Harry Potter vibes.
Kind of, yeah. So you can turn invisible. And what's really good about the construction worker is because he is able to summon a cargo drone anywhere he wants. I can summon a cargo drone, and instead of me trying to get into a building, trying to hack my way in, trying to find a key, whatever garbage, I literally summon this cargo drone and fly over the fence, go in as high as I can, and then drop down. And then from there, I can turn my construction worker invisible. And it's even really beneficial if I'm at a construction zone because no one pays attention to me and I can get in and then get out. It's super easy with the construction worker. But one thing that I have been doing is that it's a very Ubisoft game, right? So if you do quest on certain areas of the map and then it unlocks that section. What's different about this is that
it rewards you for doing a lot of exploration.
Right. What's different about that on Watch Dogs Legion is once you clear out a section of the map, you get a very good operative. So be it a hitman plus, so typically a lot of the people that you can recruit, a good recruiting candidate that you can have around the world will have three positive abilities, be it they have a car, they are really good at hacking, and they take less damage. But the people that you get from unlocking a burrow or making it defiant is a really good operative. And so I recently unlocked a spy who is really cool. And then I've also recently unlocked a hitman who I've been using constantly. And
what does the hitman do that's like so special?
They're just super fast. I think they might be faster than everyone else that I have. And then their combat abilities are just cooler. Like the way with the other operatives that you have, you punch, and it's fine. But with the hitman, they do like 5 punches to 2 of someone's punch. It's crazy, and they're super fast. And one thing that my hitman has, he has the ability of Gunkata. So what that means, Gunkata is...
Gunkata.
Yeah, so imagine like John Wick.
Oh,
So
okay.
have a vision of John Wick in your head, and so when he hits someone and then shoots the leg, shoots the head, kind of as you're doing combat. So
Yeah.
if you're doing melee combat with your gun, it's an automatic execution, and it's super cool,
Oh,
and
that's
it's
cool.
super interesting. And as what I've done is I've kitted him out with the invisibility cloak, as I say, and he is just really good at infiltrating places. So if I get caught, I can kill someone super fast, and it doesn't alert anyone else. So I'm really enjoying the
Nice.
Hitman. I think I might be a third through the game. I really like just the Watchdog story because it's interesting, and it's sad. So like one thing that I'm doing right now. Should I talk about spoilers, or do you think people are playing
I mean,
Watch
I don't know.
Dogs?
Your discretion, I guess.
So there's I'm on a major story mission right now, and then you find out that this gangster person is in on the job, and I found out that they are so it's very similar to like the idea of why Brexit would happen if it really devolved into something crazy, if the society really broke apart in England. So the
Hmm.
idea behind it is that the police officers or the private militia is rounding up people that are immigrants, illegal immigrants, quote unquote. And so
Nice.
anyone who is tagged as an illegal immigrant gets taken to I don't want to say internment camp, but it is, right? An internment camp at a stadium,
Like a concentration camp.
kind of, and they're
Yeah.
just there, and they're supposed to be processed, quote unquote, but no
Oh
one ever
man.
actually gets processed. So what happens is that they take all these people and they steal them from like out on the broad daylight, take them into this internment camp, and they process them to go home. But processing them, quote unquote, to go home is that they're actually giving the people to a mob, and this mob is killing them and harvesting their organs and selling them on the
Okay.
black
So
market.
some like human trafficking
Kind of,
stuff.
it's very
Actually.
Black
Yeah.
Mirror, and it makes sense, right?
Yeah, and
The story makes sense,
it's very spooky talking about this because we're recording this on the election night.
right?
A lot of this, stuff is similar to issues in the states as well. So
Yeah, so it's really
crazy.
cool, and I love the story, and I know it's a little bit dark, but the difference between this Watch Dogs Legion, and Watch Dogs 1 or 2 is that I feel like it's making more statements than it normally does as a game, because I think Ubisoft
Hmm.
really tries to be a little bit political, right? They did the Far Cry 5, and then they did Watch Dogs 1 and 2, and they're trying to say something, but I think with that kind of fell flat. I thought a lot of people said they didn't go far enough. If you're going to say something, say something. That's what people are saying.
So
But
they fans generally wanted them to do more with their voice in this.
maybe, but that's what they're doing now, and I think it's a more interesting choice, right? Because
Okay.
it's clearly very negatively portrayed. People can see what that could be, and if that could happen, and if it did happen, you would believe this. Like it's something that's super believable, and it's kind of a warning, I guess, right? It's a warning of what society could devolve into, and I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, playable Black Mirror.
Oh my god, it's crazy. It's really good. I hope I don't get bored with it. I can see where people are saying that, oh, like the the thing about being able to recruit everyone kind of wears off. I haven't gotten
Like
there yet.
the fun factor of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because at where I'm at right now, because I know I can get really high level operatives from clearing the burrows, making them defiant. It doesn't make sense for me to find every Joe Schmo that's walking around the street and looking for someone that may be interesting to me, because
Yeah,
I
that's what I
know,
was kind of thinking,
right?
and it's kind of similar to Pokemon, where it's like I have like some of these really great Pokemon in my possession.
Hmm.
Like I don't really need to go
Yeah,
for some of these other ones, like unless you really want to, because like their typing is cool or like they look cool, whatever. But for the most part, the ones you've been training up, there's not a lot of reason for you to go outside of your comfort zone necessarily.
Yeah, and before I finish up on the Watchdog stuff, because like you said, we're trying to clean these up more when we talk about the games we're playing, is that there's two things. The one thing is, the premium people that you buy from Ubisoft for $14?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you know how I'm playing on permadeath?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I got one killed. I was so mad.
Were they actually really good?
Yeah, they were really good, but I got cocky, and I was like, oh, like, this guy's a mercenary, so he can totally kill whoever. And literally, I got decked in the face and killed. And I was so mad. I'm like, oh, like, I was thinking to myself, oh, because it's someone that you buy, maybe, like, they don't actually die. No, they're
re-download them.
No, that's what I was thinking. No, they're actually dead. So I was bummed about that. Oh my God. It was crazy. And then, well, on that note, for industry news, Alex and I don't really have much to talk about because it is a Tuesday. The one thing that did come up is that the PS5 custom faceplate site, so there's this website that was selling custom PlayStation 5 faceplates, the things that come off on your PlayStation 5. They are actually canceling orders after Sony threatens legal action to them.
RIP.
I know, it's crazy. Why do you think this happened, Alex?
So, and yeah, before we do dive into it, if you didn't kind of know how the PS5, the hardware itself looks, the front and back of the system itself has these plates that you can pretty easily snap on and off. So if you do want to like clean the inside of your system, do whatever to it. The
Seto Kaiba jacket, you know what I mean?
Yeah, basically, yeah. You can do that. So then a lot of people are like, oh, you can make custom ones. They don't need to look like just like the white shells. You can do whatever with them. So, and then, it was only a matter of time. Like everyone knew that there'd be a custom faceplate designing site out there. So, and then we were talking a little bit about why Sony would threaten legal action. And of course, it comes down to money, right? Why would Sony let someone else do this when they can just do it themselves and, get the big bucks for it? So it makes sense. Ultimately, do you think there might be any other reason just besides, capitalism, money?
I think the money thing is a big deal because I'm pretty sure PlayStation will sell something like these. I would not be surprised if it's anytime soon. I would say in the next 3 months, they would probably sell custom faceplates. It's something that their R&D department probably is already thinking about. Part of it, too, I think the reason they threaten legal action as well is to make a statement. Partly,
it's about sending a message.
Yeah, right. It's to send a message that, if there is a company that plans to do something like this, that is, because I think the shape of the PlayStation 5 is proprietary. There's something like that with Sony. They want to make sure that if you do want to do something like this, I'm sure they're looking to see if someone wants to do a licensing deal, right? Because they can't just have random companies making products for them that they didn't have a hand in. So I think that's part of it too.
Yeah, and they're getting rid of this the first site or company that's doing this. It'll send ripples. Send messages throughout the grapevine that other people can't really be doing this.
Yeah, for sure. And then the other thing too, this company's they're not even making them at all. So they're pivoting completely, and instead of the faceplates, they're just making skins. I think it's like little stickers for your PlayStation, which is a little bit of a bummer, but it would be nice to have some custom faceplates. So whenever those drop, I am excited to get those. Are you going to think of maybe customizing your PlayStation in the future?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't mind doing a skin.
Yeah, you'd have like a Tifa skin faceplate, like her face.
You just had to go right there.
Dolphins on the other side.
Yeah. I wouldn't do like little stickers. That's like super lame. I don't think I feel like that's just defiling. this god of a system. But like just like a full on skin of it, like that just completely covers like the front and back. Like, I don't know. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But then I'm always scared that there's gonna be like an air bubble, because I'm terrible at those.
Yeah.
At applying those. Yeah. And then you get OCD, because if you do get an air bubble, like you need to do it all over again. But then if you try to do it all over again, it ruins it. And yeah. So, you know what? Maybe I'm not even going to. I just talk myself out of it.
For sure. I would love this is something crazy for me, but I would love faceplates that would glow. So imagine imagine like a faceplate like the Mako reactor that you can attach and detach onto the PlayStation, and it has like the Final Fantasy symbol that glows, like
that would be
meteor.
Very cool.
Yeah, dude, let's start a company.
I could definitely imagine them doing that for Remake too.
Yeah, so a special edition one. So definitely on that. Like I said, very light news. It is a Tuesday. Nothing's happened so far. So that's pretty much it. So what we are doing this week is we're going to be talking about things that are just general topical things to talk about, I guess. So let's talk gaming, Alex. The first thing on the docket: will Alex and Ralph get their PlayStation 5s on launch day? Let's start with you, Alex.
I can tell you right now, Alex, aka me, I will not be getting one on launch day. Like there's like a 1% chance I get on launch day. And that 1% chance is if I randomly find it on the street.
So you don't think there's going to be any launch day consoles at all in the United States?
So I've been reading a lot into it, and a lot of people are saying that on launch day, you can only get them online at most retailers.
So it won't even be launch, right? Because they would do the ship.
Right, because then it'll take like two to 4 business days, whatever. I'm sure that's not the case for all of them, but I also I don't really want to go through that hassle of waiting in line from like 3 a.m. for like one store in the area that might have them. So I'm just gonna wait for like midnight, try to get one on launch that way. Online.
Yeah,
so, there's probably not any chance I get it on launch, unfortunately.
Just to spite you, instead of playing Miles Morales first, I'll play Dark Souls.
Oh my! It's Demon Souls. Even you even said the wrong name. Oh my
I ruined it. Yeah. It's
Are you getting both?
No, I wasn't. Here's the thing. The plan was always Alex gets Demon Souls, I get Miles Morales and some other garbage stuff, and then we would switch when you were ready. But now it's too late. So that's kind of a bummer. One thing that I did start reading, because like I said, I was doing the run of show today, is I think specifically in the UK, I don't know if you read that, I don't think they're doing physical launch consoles. It's only online, and I think that's been confirmed because of the spike in COVID cases. And so I think maybe the US will follow suit. I don't know. We're a very capitalistic society anyway, so maybe there are going to be
I want to say Target consoles is doing online. Like they will have some in stock like at their stores, but they're not going to be actually like on the shelves.
That's interesting.
See, Best Buy, I can see Best Buy doing the same thing too. So
here's my weird thought then. So if they're going to do that, I don't know why they haven't done any pre-orders since the 20th of October.
Yeah, I don't know.
So maybe they just don't have the pre-order numbers, the pre-order unit numbers that they can get from Sony or Xbox. But it is interesting to me that if you're not going to do physical consoles at the store, I think you should make a statement to people that are probably going to line up in front of your store or is going to call your store multiple times to see if you're doing launch consoles, so that people have more transparency of what's going on there. But 2, if that was the case, if you're going to do online pre-orders only on launch day, why not let those pre-orders happen before the fact, so that if people wanted their consoles at launch, they'd have a better chance of getting them. So that's kind of a bummer.
I mean, really, just to sum up the whole experience with the PS5 and even the Series X and S pre-order, it just everything being nebulous and confusing and just minimal communication.
Yeah, for sure. And then
Super frustrating.
with me too, I have my pre-order for the PlayStation 5, and that's not even like a humble brag. I'm still worried. I'm still worried that I'm getting a PS5 at launch, because what I've seen on Now in Stock, and a lot of people that are in the forums that have their pre-orders for PS5, they're getting emails on cancellations. So that's no good.
Cancellation, not even just pushback, just cancellation.
So they're getting pre-order cancellations, and what I've seen is the reason they're getting cancellations is because they had multiple pre-orders for one location, one store. Yeah. So good for them. I'm glad they got cancellations. You should only get one. And then the other thing too is that people are getting delays on their PS5. So it's not the end of the world. At least I would be able to get one. And I know for a fact that while I was doing Run Up Show today, is that a bunch of retailers like Target, Best Buy, and I believe Walmart have already confirmed that they are going to have the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S on Black Friday. So that's not too far away. But even I think...
just like 2 weeks after, yeah.
Right, but even I think Black Friday might even be worse to try to get one. So
yeah, okay, so the big thing is, and I think this is the biggest issue in general amongst, all the lack of communication information that was given, are the bots to buy them online. Like people who run scripts that are just like rapidly, clicking purchase whenever it shows up and like auto refreshing the page over and over. Like you can't really beat that. So there needs to be a way to, I don't know, like set up a queue like
PlayStation
did. Yeah, the actual like legitimate US PlayStation store did. I thought that was really great. Like amongst all like the bad tendencies that were shown in this, setting up the queue was great. It's a nice orderly way to do this, because I mean, even like the NVIDIA graphics card that came out like last month or 2 months ago, like that sold out in like 10 minutes.
Right.
And most of them were to bots. And I mean, it's just, I get why people do it,
it's
right?
Scummy.
Because then they scalp them.
Yeah.
But it's super scummy.
It's crazy because
super scummy.
I even got to the fact, because I'm always trying to watch out for you with the PlayStation 5, because I want you to have it at launch. We have a podcast about video games, for God's sakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I checked the godforsaken eBay just to check if there was...
It's disgusting.
Right, just to see if there was something there for you. One, the lowest ones are at least $600, and I've seen them for $1,000 or $1,200.
And the ones that you're seeing on 600, they're not like buy it now.
It's like, it's still bidding. People are still bidding for it
at 600.
Right, so it's super scummy, and it's just a weird thing in my head, because they're not even selling the console. They're selling the pre-order to the console. So that's what's annoying about it.
Yeah, it's a weird concept to think about.
Yeah. Well, I really hope you get one on launch day. If I do get my PS5, what I will be doing is I'm going to be sitting on the stairs, checking my tracking code and waiting all day until I get it.
All day? No, you're not.
Well, no, I'll definitely watch out for it, because one, I've never gotten a package stolen, but if this was the package, you're right. If this was the package that gets stolen, I would be pretty mad. I would be pretty mad.
That would be so heartbreaking, literally just tripping at the finish line.
Right, because it wouldn't even be like, oh, I'm sure Amazon or Walmart would give me another PlayStation 5. But what's going to happen? Am I going to get that 7 months from now? No.
Yeah, they literally couldn't.
I would be mad. Yeah, so I would definitely try just to wait and watch out for it. So I'm really looking forward to getting a PlayStation 5. If I do get one on launch day, look for it unboxing. I'm going to try and do something fun for you guys.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
we're due for an unboxing video, and when like a trashy reaction video to whatever comes next.
Poggers, what do you call it? Alex just told, it's a weird thing, because I live in a separate space on the internet, and Alex lives on a separate space on the internet, and the things I know about the internet is different from what Alex knows about the internet. So he had to explain Poggers to me. I'm like, what is
I can't
Poggers?
believe you did not know PogChamp, the most legendary Twitch chat meme ever.
Right.
Oh, no, actually, that belongs to maybe Kappa. Kappa's great.
I don't even know what that is.
Dude, oh my
sorry.
god. You call yourself a gamer.
Dude, I know my memes. I know Linus Tech's like sad face meme. I know that one.
Yeah, and like Pepe.
Yeah, Pepe. That's the normal stuff.
Yeah,
That's the normal
we like
stuff.
our Pepe here.
Yeah. On that note, do you think the next gen is a big step from current generation console? So we've started to see some of the cross-gen games. We've started to see Watch Dogs Legion. Obviously, Cyberpunk's coming out in December, and we have Miles Morales, right, and Dark Souls. We've seen a little bit of Halo, but with what's been shown so far, do you think it's a big step from what's being offered right now?
Yeah, I mean, whenever you look at launch titles or launch window titles for next gen, they're really just like the perfected versions of the current or last gen, however you want to phrase that. So we really won't see what these consoles can really do probably like early 2022. I think it's a fair assessment. Kind of when they taper off of services for the PS4 and the Xbox One X. They did say they want to keep those players happy for a couple of years. But, it's only natural to gradually taper off of that. And that's when they can put all their efforts full steam ahead for the PS5 and the Series X and S.
Yeah.
So that's when we'll be able to really see how big of a step it is. But I think it will be a really good one. And obviously 4K was implemented in this past generation.
Not the best. Not the best implementation.
And especially with like 30 frames per second cap.
Right.
So it'll be really excited to see like native 4K 60 FPS. Really excited to see what they do with VR. Because it's still a really new concept, to be honest. And I remember the first time I played it was at your first apartment, and going into it, I was like, okay, this is going to be a fad. It won't last, whatever. But like actually playing it, you're like, okay, I can totally get down with this. This is very cool. And like the popular, the Oculus Quest, like I'm excited to see that elevated on the PS5. I know we haven't gotten any new news about that, like a PSVR 2.
Don't even get me started on the VR.
I mean, that's why I've been waiting to get a PSVR, because I was going to get it like mid-cycle of the PS4, but I'm like, that's like $250 and the PS5 is like going to come out soonish, so I should just wait. So I'm
a little bit mad at Sony about the VR stuff. I don't know if you're familiar with the VR things going on. Probably not, because you don't have one.
No, I've been a little out of the
So
loop.
the PSVR is supposed to be compatible with PlayStation 5, but they haven't announced. You're supposed to have this free attachment that you could use so that you could connect your PSVR to PlayStation 5, but no announcements have been made about the transition for PSVR to PlayStation 5. So I'm in a weird spot of limbo, because I personally want to sell my PlayStation 4 whenever I get my PlayStation 5, because all the games are backwards compatible.
Yeah, there's no reason to hold on.
The majority of my games are digital, but now I have to keep my PlayStation 4 so I can keep on playing PSVR games. Not that I played PSVR games recently.
I was gonna say, how often do you actually use it?
I do from time to time. I'll get an itch here and there. The problem with PSVR is that it takes too long to. It's so first world problems, but it takes too long and has too much effort to set up.
Okay, that's real.
So
that I'll give you. But you told me in the past, like, oh man, I hate buying Switch games because I have to get up and switch the cartridge.
Why you gotta
roll my eyes and die.
Why you gotta out me like that, dude? But because with the PSVR, you have to make a choice to play VR. It's not one of those things like, oh, like I'll play VR today and then play VR. No, you need to put on the cord, change the outlets.
You got to move the coffee table too.
Right. So it's just a lot there. Once it becomes optimized on how you can play the PlayStation VR, I would be really excited to do that. I have been considering getting an Oculus Quest 2. Because that is wireless, and then if you want a higher end graphics on your Oculus, you can just buy a really long USB-C and then it could take advantage of any hardware that you have as if it was an Oculus Rift.
Oh, okay.
So that's the cool thing about it.
Cool.
But it's just a little bit annoying with the PSVR stuff. I'm in a weird spot with PlayStation because, or even the next gen consoles in general, is because I have a PC that is comparable to the consoles right now. So it's a pretty high end PC. It's not like a 3080 or 3070 or whatever that is, or a 10th generation CPU or whatever people think that is. But I did look up the specs on my PC, and it is pretty comparable to how it would be on a PlayStation. The only difference is the SSD card. So the solid state drive is going to be the differentiator between my PC and any of the next generation consoles, so that we can't really tell what that is. So when you say that, I can't wait for native 4K ray tracing at 60 FPS on the new consoles, I think that's not possible. So that
for the next gen
consoles. Because I had problems running Watch Dogs Legions at 1440p, and it's not even hitting 660 on that. And I have a pretty beefy machine. And I looked at the amount of teraflops, what people have been saying with the PlayStation consoles, and I have the same amount of teraflops, quote unquote, for my PC. So I would be very surprised if next generation is going to have ray tracing enabled with 4K textures at 60 frames per second, because I think that would be a very beefy machine.
Yeah, maybe with the ray tracing, that might throw a little overboard.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Like, I would be able to run 4K. Like, I think I would be able to run Watch Dogs at 4K without ray tracing on Ultra.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things, right? Because ray tracing is the new 4K, I think. It's the new thing people it's the new thing that people are trying to go for, and it's hard to run. Like, it takes up a lot of beef from your machines. So
yeah, it's pretty demanding.
Yeah, and then the other thing with the games, I don't know if you would agree, is that I feel like as PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5, I think there's been diminishing returns. I don't know if you would agree with me, because as we were growing up, obviously we came from 2D to 3D, and like 3D that was more realistic, right? Mm-hmm. But I think the steps from PS3 to 4 to now hasn't been as big of a step as it was between the older generations. Would you agree, or
you think? I mean, we're getting closer and closer to real life looking, and so like there is a ceiling. Mm-hmm. Right, to how good graphics can be. Yeah, so I think it totally makes sense that the gains are less and less, but you see these other gains where it's ray tracing, like it's not just like the graphics, it's this kind of this outside component that adds into it, and then with higher FPS too. So diminishing returns, I totally agree with, but still noticeable gains nonetheless.
Yeah. On that note, what feature are you looking forward to, announced or otherwise, for next generation games or consoles?
I'm really looking forward to PSVR 2. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it's not a matter of if or what, but just when. Mm-hmm. Like, it's going to happen. I'm super excited to get it. I don't even want to talk about pre-ordering another piece of hardware when I haven't even gotten the base version.
I don't think the PlayStation 2... PlayStation 2. I don't think the PSVR 2 is going to be as tough to get as the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so either. But yeah, just bad experiences with pre-ordering this time around. But yeah, I'm super excited for that.
Well, is this your first launch purchase? Because I don't think you buy consoles at launch. I think the only reason you're looking to this is, one, you like PlayStation, and now you have more money compared to when you were a child.
Right. And I got the PS4. I know the PS4 launched when we were still in college. I got it like the summer after we graduated. So
oh wow, that's so late.
Yeah, because there was still a lot of games releasing on the PS3, kind of like what they're doing with the PS4 to PS5 transition.
You know, I definitely got PlayStation 4 at launch. So that's,
I remember we played PT. Dude. in one year. I think it was like sophomore, junior year.
Yeah.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah, no.
How about you? What feature or game are you looking forward to?
I am really looking forward to the SSDs, and I know that that's kind of the big thing that both consoles are trying to push, is that they're super fast. But what I've seen on the news recently is that they're taking these old games like Witcher, or what do you call it, God of War, or Sekiro, or Ghost of Tsushima.
Last of Us Remastered even.
Right. And so what people have been testing is that, for example, on Witcher 3, when you fast travel, there's no loading screen. And I think that's crazy.
Yeah, because the load time in Witcher 3 was terrible.
Right. So the
Super
fact that there's no loading screen, I'm kind of really excited to how games are going to be developed moving forward, because some people may not know this, is that sometimes when you go through a long hallway and then there's no downtime or things like that, that's like a secret loading screen. The way they design the games is that they need time to buffer between you moving through a hallway into another space so that it can load into something bigger. So
there's a bunch of those, especially in like Final Fantasy, when they have you like slowly
crawl through,
go through like a tight squeeze.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to just the changes where instead of trying to fit in a loading screen somewhere so people don't notice, where it's just action and gameplay all the time. And that's something exciting to me, especially since we're going to get to it soon, but since we're playing Hades, right? Death doesn't seem too bad. So I'm looking forward to games where death is part of the mechanic. Like, even if you die, you immediately get respawned and it's not annoying. Like, you don't get punished for dying. So you're incentivized to try new things, incentivized to discover the world the way that you want, instead of, oh, like, there's a giant bear over there, better not, because I don't want to load back in.
Yeah, kind of goes back to what we were just talking about, the diminishing returns in graphics. Like, where else are they improving?
Yeah.
Where else are they putting their firepower? And yeah, the SSD in regard to like almost none, no load times it's huge. I think I'm not really prioritizing it that much, but I think when I'm actually playing a game, I'll realize like, okay, this is pretty freaking sweet, actually.
Yeah. And then the last thing I did want to see in new games, and this might be something too crazy, I would love more complex AI in a game. And so hear me out. I would love, let's say you start out with a companion, like a person or a companion, but they learn from your actions and they end up like talking to you from...
So Amiibo.
Kind of, right? But
like a Super Smash Bros. Amiibo.
Right, but something more in depth. So like
something not Nintendo.
Yeah. So let's say you have dialogue choices with another character that's not your character related. Like, they remember everything you say, and so their personality kind of changes to how you play the game. So if you're aggressive in the game, your companion becomes as aggressive as you play. That would be interesting. So something that's like a learning AI within a game, and how you play. That'd be cool.
That would be cool, yeah.
We'll see.
Interesting.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
I mean, it'd have to work with a very specific type of game too, but that would be cool if that was like one thing that like they were pushing for, like for advertising purposes for the game.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Because it would be interesting to see a game. Because a lot of the things that people say, oh, like this game is unique to your experience, and yeah, sure, but it's a bunch of fake lines that you do. Like, it's either A or B, and then A or B, or the A or B, or A or B. I would love something that's truly unique to your experience, and I don't know what that is yet. But if a developer or Sony or Xbox is able to provide that, I think that would be a game changer in the games industry.
Hey man, maybe that's why Cyberpunk 2077 keeps getting pushed back.
Man, that'd be crazy.
They're doing this.
Yeah.
Honestly, if there was a game that would fit, it kind of would be that.
Yeah. That'd be cool. I'm excited to play Cyberpunk. You're not getting it at launch. I will. So I'll let people know how that goes. On the topic of games, Video Game Book Club. Me, Alex, finally. And all you professional gamers hopefully are playing Hades. I am in love with that game. It's definitely right. Yes, I'm definitely enjoying.
You love
that
your
game.
Fiance and you love Hades. Is it the same?
Why are you gonna do this? Why are you gonna do this?
You're using the same word. It's
oh man, so it's just super weird tangent. not related to this at all.
Okay.
My fiance Samantha hates it when I call a dish like beautiful. Like I'll be like, "Oh man, this steak is beautiful," and she gets so mad that I'm like, "You think this steak is beautiful? So when you call me beautiful, you're as beautiful as that steak." And she gets so mad when I do that.
Okay, but you know what is truly beautiful? When you go to like a sushi restaurant and they come out with like the wooden boat with like all the rolls. Oh,
the wasabi's on the side, and then there's like a little pool of soy sauce.
She could not even fault you for calling that beautiful.
Right, but she does get mad. So why you gotta do that, Alex? Why you gotta do that? But yes, I really am enjoying Hades. Alex, let's start out with you. What are your thoughts about the game?
Okay, so this game is a roguelite, I believe.
Yes.
Not a roguelike, but a roguelite.
Honestly, I don't know the difference.
Okay, yeah. So regardless of whichever one that is, this is my first time playing it. And so that genre, it's kind of like I don't know how long it's really been around, but it's kind of been popularized over the past couple of years. There was a really popular one like last year. I don't know if you remember what it was called.
It's either like Messenger. It's probably Messenger, or I don't know. Like there's a bunch of roguelites. Like the big one is the one that's most popular that comes off the top of my head is Rogue Legacy. I don't know if you're familiar with that game.
Maybe that is what I'm thinking of. That's one of them.
Yeah.
But regardless. So this is the first one I'm playing of that genre. And what that really entails is they're random-ish dungeons that are generated. And along your progression, you get upgrades for your character. And if you don't reach the end and you die, you reset from the beginning.
It's like Dark Souls, but permanent.
Kind of, yeah. So I believe this is what the main difference is. If I'm wrong in this, listeners, please let us know in the comments. In a roguelike, it's like a hard reset.
Right.
Like you die and then you play again like it's your first time. In a roguelite, like Rogue Lite, you get some stats carried over, so there's still some sort of progression.
I would agree with that. Yeah, so if that's the case, I think Hades is roguelite. Before we go into that, could you explain what Hades is to people, just like the story, what the premise is, so that our listeners
Hades,
that aren't joining us?
Hades, of course, is the Greek god ruler of the underworld, and you're playing as his son,
Zagreus, I think.
Thank you. I was totally blanking. I'm like, it's Z. I was going to call him Big Z, to be honest, because I was blanking on the name. Yeah, Zagreus. And as anyone who has spent their whole life in Hades or, hell, basically, you want to escape. And that's what it's all about. So you're making your way.
Oh, you don't know Hades. Why he wants to escape yet, do you?
No, I don't think I have gotten that far.
All right.
Maybe I just missed that dialogue piece. And as you're making your way through like the chambers, the rooms of the randomly generated dungeons, all the other Greek gods are helping you escape, and they give you stuff called boons. Mm-hmm. And these boons are they're buffs to some of your moves or your movement to help you along on your journey. And so where the roguelike / roguelite thing comes in is if you die in your progression, you lose those boons, which is sometimes very frustrating. But where it is a roguelite is that you can get these, you can get some items and they carry over even after death. So they can help you in your future runs through the dungeon.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. So the reason Hades would be a roguelite, Lite, is when you die, you actually collect these things called, I believe they're shadows, or they're little teardrops that are purple. And
yeah, there's like a few things you can collect that carry over.
And so with those little teardrops, you can power up Zagreus a little bit, not too much. Like they would have things where whenever you finish a dungeon, you heal 3 health every time you leave, or you get more damage if you're hitting someone from behind, and you can upgrade those as you go. So you're getting those little teardrops during your playthroughs as you go. I don't know if you know about this, Alex, but there's this thing called God mode as well. Are you familiar with that?
I did see that in the settings.
Right, so I'm not playing on God mode, but if you are playing with us and then you're having a little bit more of a tougher time with Hades, what God mode does is that as you die, it increases your damage by 2%, I believe. That's what I looked up. So
Okay.
let's say you're doing a run and then you die. The next time you go into a run, you would have 2% more damage.
That's cool.
Until you're
That's a
able
nice little
to-
option that you can
right.
toggle. Yeah.
Because I think one thing about Hades too, the reason I brought up, like Alex doesn't know why he's trying to leave hell yet, is that the story is actually fascinating. I love the characters and they're really interesting.
Okay, so why is he trying to leave hell? So I've beaten the
do you
second
care?
boss.
Do you care if it's like
I've almost
spoilers?
beaten the second boss.
So it's funny because I actually haven't gotten to the second boss yet.
Okay, so I probably just missed it.
Right. So I think I've done more runs than you because I like messing around with roguelites because there's so many options to do. I'm not I'm trying.
There's so many.
I'm trying to beat the game, of course, but I'm switching weapons all the time. I'm changing my boons all the time. Even though like I know that a Zeus boon is really strong, I'll think to myself, but what about Ares? Should we check out Ares?
Dude. I'm in love with the Ares boons.
Yeah.
So we can go into that, but what is the story? Why does he want to leave?
So a little bit of a spoiler. Granted, it is book club, so I'm assuming some of you are playing the game. So you find out a little bit of the story. One when you talk to people. I don't know if you've gotten the codex yet, Alex. Have you gotten that? So at one point, after a couple of tries, you'll talk to Achilles. He's the guy that weapons, right? You'll talk to Achilles, and he'll give you a codex, and it'll have a thing where if you receive a boon from Aphrodite 15 times, you'll get more story from her. So there's like a little snippet about Aphrodite, but if you get 10 more boons from her, it'll show more information about her, and then so on and so forth. I haven't even met Aphrodite once. So that's one. And then the other thing too is when you go to sleep, I believe it progresses the story a little bit more. So
like in his room,
right? So the reason I'm saying that the story and I'm going to say this right now, for what this game is, I think this game is a perfect video game.
No,
I legitimately say that. What they're trying to do with this game, I think, I've said this before, there are no perfect video games, but for what the developer is trying to do, I think this is a perfect video game. And so hear me out here, is that you're supposed to die, right? So, So you're supposed to die. You're supposed to start from the bottom and all the way to the top. The cool thing when you die is that there's always new dialogue. Every single person that you're
always amazed at just the volume of unique dialogue in this game.
All of the characters are interesting. They're super cool. And there's different interactions that happen. That's one. And then two, as you progress to the game, people interact with you differently. So the first time, I don't know, you beat Megara, right? The first boss.
Yeah. So close to second boss. Oh my gosh.
So when you beat Megara and then you die after that thing, she ends up outside of your room,
you can talk
and
to
you
her
can talk to her,
smack.
And then she gets mad at you and she says, the next time you beat me, you better make it all the way because it's embarrassing.
Yeah,
like it's cool, and I really like the story dynamics between Zagreus and the people. So going back to your ask, do you want me to tell you why Zagreus is trying to go?
I guess you can just tell me off.
Okay.
Off camera then.
Well, no, because if you don't care, that's fine with me. I just like the way that they're structuring it, where as you die, you learn more about characters. The more you talk to characters, more quest ideas come out, and then their motivations show up. And I think it is baffling to me that there's so much story as you're interacting, and there's always new dialogue. And it's so cool, and they're all voice acted.
It's organically discovered, I guess.
Right.
So I'm glad I didn't miss it.
Yeah,
that's what I was worried about.
Because I think at one point, as you die enough times, Zagreus will say, "I should go to bed." So
and that's just like a cue to go to bed.
Yeah, and it's super cool. I would love to see if there was a person that did their first run and just beat the game. Someone that's really good.
Oh, I would be surprised.
There has to be someone, right? Like first try runs. But yeah, no, I really like the game. I think the game is super interesting. So obviously, I'm more positive than you are. What's holding you back from the game? What don't you like about the game?
So I wish I could just say, okay, in this run, I will always get like an Ares and Zeus boon.
But you can.
How?
So
I've only played for like 2 hours.
yeah. So this might be why I'm enjoying the game more than Alex, because I played more than you. So there's one mechanic in the game where you can kind of get to know the characters more in depth. It's kind of like a romancing. It's like a dating sim in the game.
You give them the orange juice.
Yeah, so you give them a nectar, and so when you give them a piece of nectar, that would be your first interaction with them when you're getting the boon, and you give them a gift, and from there they actually give you a keepsake. So a keepsake that you can equip onto Zagreus. I really hope the name is Zagreus, because if it's not, we're gonna look stupid.
Big Z.
Yeah. So they'll give you a keepsake. So for instance, I have an Aphrodite keepsake. And so what that does is that it guarantees an Aphrodite boon interaction.
Right. And I know I have the Zeus one, but I also really want the one from the mummy that just revives you one more time.
Right. But that's what makes it interesting, right? So
yeah.
So I played multiple roguelikes in the past, and I think this is just a really well-designed roguelike, because I think this game has really good replayability.
Oh, yeah. It's all about replayability.
And it makes it super interesting. And there's things that you discover like as you play that you don't that's so surprising. And I kind of want you to discover them yourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally intend on doing that. But I guess to go back to my singular issue with the game. So even if I do equip like the Zeus one, that doesn't mean I can get an Ares one in that run. I've only gotten one deflect boon in I think I've had like 4 runs in the game.
Right, but that's the point though, right? So
yeah, and I get that's like a game mechanic. I just wish like, okay, I really like the deflect boon, so I can have that. I also really like Ares because what is it, the death or doom?
Yeah, it's just like a sword that drops down and kills people.
With the doom mechanic or the doom debuff that he can put on people is so good. I love it.
Have you even gotten a summon boon yet?
Is that? Oh, I got the Poseidon one where you like ride the wave.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah,
it was okay.
Have you even gotten heroic boons yet?
No, I've only seen Epic, I think.
Yeah, so like I said, this game is meant to be replayable. There's multiple weapons that you can run. There's multiple favors that you can use, be it get a specific boon from a god, or get revives, or increase your damage, things like that. And then you can get construction things. There's so much to do in the game. But
it's like the rooms, how you can change them.
Yeah.
So they drop more stuff or something. Yeah.
Right. So what I'm saying about the replayability and what makes this game interesting as a roguelike is there are certain moments where you think, hell yeah, I got a heroic boon. So I've only gotten a heroic boon once, and it was from Dionysus, which is the god of wine and partying, which is the best. And so his boon, right, is the cast item, which is this tiny little crystal that you throw out. But this cast item makes a cloud of smoke, like a huge cloud of smoke around the area that makes every enemy drunk.
Nice.
And they can't move for 5 seconds.
Oh,
and
wow,
it's
that's
so
really
good.
Yeah.
And so I'm so excited to see all of the other heroic boons that you can get from the gods. And with the builds, right, you're saying, oh, I've only gotten the deflect boon once. But I feel like as you get further to the game, you can, sell the boons that you have. So if there's a boon that you don't like and you want to get a chance of getting another boon, you can do that. But as you play through the game, you're going to get more boons.
Yeah, I understand that.
Right.
Like deflect is particularly like
Athena,
very good against certain enemies and even like some bosses. Like in the second boss, deflect would be a huge game changer.
Yeah.
So I just wish I could consistently get it. But I mean, overall, like even if you don't like have a favorable run, it's nice because again, it's a roguelite, so you're still making progress towards your overall goal, and you go right back into the action, which the action is very fun. Like the gameplay, regardless of your boon layout, whatever, it's fun.
Yeah, and I think this game is dangerous too. So you've only played 2 hours of it, but when I was telling Alex about when I started playing this game, is I played Watch Dogs Legion for a little bit, and I thought to myself, oh, I should probably play Hades for maybe an hour or like an hour and a half, just so that I have something to talk about on the podcast. That ended up being 6 hours. The reason being,
that's a lot.
is that Hades is one of those one more games.
Yeah,
it's
it
definitely
totally
a one more game. There's no loading screens, so that's great. And two, it incentivizes you to be like, oh, I could probably do another one. I could probably fit in another one, and it's super cool. And whenever you die, you get more story stuff. So there's a fantastic cycle of die, get to know some of the characters, play some more, get some new boons, strengthening up Zagreus, die again, more character interactions, and the reason I'm saying that it's perfect for what it is, what Supergiant made that game is that the cycle of fun in that game is perfect. That's what I mean.
The art style of the character portraits is very good.
Not to mention, I am a sucker for Greek mythology. I love Greek mythology. So
yeah, I think we both are in that respect.
Yeah, and so
love Greek myth.
I'm really excited. The music is really cool. So as we're talking about two things, since we've kind of hinted at them, what's your favorite boon so far that you've had? And who is your favorite character so far?
So my favorite boon has to be... So I've been using the sword.
Okay.
I've unlocked other weapons, but I just like the sword because I like the special ability where you smack the ground with the sword and it does an AoE blast.
Right.
And I love pairing it with Ares because with Ares, everyone hit by that attack is inflicted with doom, and then they take a butt ton of damage, and it's great.
Okay. So I have a crazier build for you. All right. And that's the reason I think this game is so special. Is so I love my girl Aphrodite. She's super cool. She has the thing called weaken, and it makes other people weak, and it makes them more susceptible to stuff. And so pair her weaken ability. So I have the shield. I like using the shield because one, it deflects all damage if you're charging it in the right direction. But also two, it has a Captain America special. So if you throw your shield, it'll bounce. So this is the build that got me pretty far, and it's pretty bonkers, is that you have the triangle, which is your special, which Zagreus throws the shield. There is a boon where it allows you to have multiple bounces between enemies. So I believe it'll bounce maybe 4 or 5 times between enemies. So have that with the weaken ability from, from Aphrodite. And also have that where it has doom. So because they're weakened, it dooms multiple times.
Oh, yeah. The great thing is you think you have like a favorite synergy with boons, and then you die, and then you go through your next one, and you're like, wow, this is also a very great synergy between boons. So you just keep discovering really great pairings with that. It's amazing how cohesive they made the abilities in this game. Nothing seems like super overpowered.
Oh, I think you can definitely get there. I think you can definitely get there. I believe that once you get like later onto the games, and if you get just the right roll on everything, you could break this game. And I think that's what's exciting about it.
Yeah, I guess I haven't really researched too much on the Hades community side of like what like the most optimal build path is, but I mean, you could beat this game using like any boon path you want.
I personally don't think the game's too hard. I think it's pretty good. Like I got pretty far on my second try. Like I beat.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those games where like you will die. Like obviously, like Ralph and I are talking about this, you're meant to die over and over, but it's not like for nothing. You, even if, obviously you keep stuff, you keep stats, and you grow stronger, but you learn enemy movements a lot more, and you yourself as a player grow stronger, which
Right.
is definitely the most important learning aspect in this game. There's like an aha moment, especially with bosses.
And also, I don't think, what do you call it? Alex and I haven't beaten the game yet, obviously. I hope not.
Far
But
from it.
I think this game is only like an hour long. Like if you
Like,
want,
if you can
actually run through the entire thing, I think it's only an hour long. But the reason this game is good is I think it's meant to be replayed multiple times.
Yeah, and we looked up, the average playtime was like 16 hours.
Oh, really? That's a lot. Jeez.
A lot of dying. Yep.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. Who's your favorite, I guess, social link so far?
So I mean, I've only been playing for like 2 hours. I don't really know him too well, but I guess I like Poseidon. He seems like a chill guy.
He seems very macho, super aggro.
Yeah, it's funny because they're like, Zeus and Poseidon are obviously like Zagreus' uncle, so they have like a more of like a chummy vibe.
Yeah. So two things. Have you met Dusa?
Oh, I just did, yeah, from like the cafeteria.
Yeah, Dusa's really funny, dude.
Yeah, I met her like once. She like, I guess she's like a crush on Zagreus, and she was like skittered away.
Yeah, she's super funny. And then two, have you, I don't know what they're called, but have you been in a room with two gods? So like once you beat the room, you get 2 boons.
2 boons. I don't know if I have.
Yeah, so it's super funny. Like, I think it's personally funny. So
is there dialogue if you like choose one over the other?
Yeah, so like you choose one of the boons, and then the other god gets upset that you chose another person's boon. So then the enemies will spawn, and then that god will try to kill you.
Wow.
And then once you beat the enemy, they're like, fine, I guess we can call it even, and then you can get 2 boons at the same time. But I think it's just so clever, and it's funny that like there's so much in the game because there has to be multiple god interactions. There has to be different levels or layers of interactions. You get to know how each god feels about one another. There's so much, and it's so cool.
Yeah, and the cool thing is that you feel like you've discovered everything that the game is trying to tell you narrative-wise, and then they do stuff like that you just said.
Yeah.
So they keep unraveling more and more to this story, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Supergiant, they're known for a reason, and yeah, this game, it doesn't seem to disappoint. So I'm happy with the overall. Like, I'm happy with the 2 hours I put into it. I'm just kind of being nitpicky, but yeah, I'm looking forward to beating all of it. So.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what. Hopefully, some of you are also playing Hades for Video Game Book Club, because we'd love to hear your thoughts too. Send us a question or your thoughts, or send us any comments on social media. We'd love to hear it. I'm clearly very positive on the game. Alex is positive, but not as much as I am. So I'm looking forward to talking about this in the next couple of weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, well, on that note, it's budget gaming time. Not much has changed. A lot of the things are the same deals, but I will call out some more fun things.
Ooh.
So on Xbox One, what Alex has been doing is showing which has been added on Game Pass. So they are added Carto, which is, I think, this new game.
Nice.
Carto. I
don't know what that is.
Neither do I, but it looks cool. It has a nice art style. It's very like watercolor painterly, so that looks cool.
Pastel.
Kind of, yeah. They also have Ultimate Chicken Horse for sale for $7.49. I don't know if people know what that is, but I've
heard so much about it, but I have like no idea what it is. Also, that name is great.
Yeah, so Ultimate Chicken Horse is, imagine you're playing Mario with 5 other people, and the 5 other people can set out traps to make it more difficult for you.
Like old school 2D Mario.
Kind of, yeah. So let's say you're playing with 4 people, and then you're trying to put on platforms, but someone doesn't want you to get there, so they put a lava pit like on the platform, so you can't use it.
Yeah,
so
sounds like a good party game.
Yeah, it's a good time. The other thing too is that Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes is
Another
on
classic
sale as
party
well. I love Keep Talking and Nobody Explode. If people don't know what that is, it's one person is trying to defuse a bomb, and then everyone has a physical, like you print things out, or you have a PDF, and someone has a physical thing of instructions on how to diffuse that bomb. So Keep Talking, Nobody Explode, highly recommend it. I love playing that game with people. For PS4, Planet of Discounts is still around. I don't know what's up with that name. Alex was talking smack about it last time. What a weird name. But I do want to call out Digimon Cyber Sleuth's Hacker's Memory is on sale for $14.99. Really great game. Better than Pokemon. Calling it right now. I think that game is better than Pokemon. Okay. Super cool. I thoroughly enjoy it. Obviously, the aesthetics for Digimon may turn off people because it's too edgelord, but I think it's a really good RPG. I think you should play it.
So do you like Digimon more than Pokemon?
No, Pokemon's great. Okay. Pokemon is like my childhood. Like it is my chicken soup. It warms my soul. Warms my soul. Not very good, kind of bland, but makes you feel good. Bayonetta is on sale for $12.49. So that's a fantastic game. My friend Colin and I beat it in one run when we were still children. And that was super cool. Now that I think about it, probably not the most appropriate game for children.
Oh, definitely not. Honestly, since her inclusion in a Smash Bros, I can't look at her the same way. Like, I hate Bayonetta.
Oh my god, dude, Bayonetta is such a good game. Have you played?
I will never play the game because I hate her.
Dude, it's so good. It's better than DMC.
It's supposed to be like a DMC-esque game, right?
Yeah, it's really great. So on Nintendo Switch, speaking of Smash Bros, No More Heroes 1 and 2 are actually on sale right now.
Nice.
And I think Nintendo does this with new games. So if you're new on the platform, they give you
each
a couple.
One is $17.99. Correct?
Yeah, so it's $17.99 for No More Heroes 1, and then $17.99 for No More Heroes 2. Darksiders Genesis is $26.79. I think it looks cool. One thing that I do want to note is Darksiders Genesis is on Game Pass for PC. So if you have a decent enough PC and Game Pass, it would be cheaper on there. But if you don't, Nintendo Switch has it for $26.79. On Steam, Outer Worlds is $29.99. Like I said, again, it's also on Game Pass. Sims 4 is $9.99. But if you have EA Play, that's also on EA Play.
If you have the other subscription service.
Right. So this gets a little bit weird because as we get more streaming services, it's more cost efficient to go on there.
Right.
Epic Game Store still has the Halloween sale. Dead Cells is $14.99. And World War Z Game of the Year Edition is $17.99. Which, like I said, is also on Game Pass. So
always is.
Yeah, so a lot of cool games, a lot of options for you if you want to save, but check those out if you can. But on that note, thank you for sticking around for our 10th episode of Professionally Casual Gamers. We had an awesome time hanging out with each other on a Tuesday night because Alex is saving the world from Mako poisoning. So if you have any discussion topics, questions, or anything at all, please send it over to professionallycasualgamers@gmail.com. I check it every week, I promise. And send us messages on our social medias, on Instagram or Twitter at Professional Casual Gamers. If you are playing Hades, please let Alex and I know what your thoughts are. I would love some discussion topics while we do Video Game Book Club. Because as much as I love talking to Alex, I would love to get some more audience participation.
I see how it is. Back to the emotional cheating.
Why gotta do that to me, Alex? I'm trying to make us better, get us engaging with the professional.
No, for real though. We definitely want to hear what you guys have to say about it. It's always fun just interacting with you guys and seeing your side of things.
Yeah. Well, we will see you next week. Guess what? It's launch week next week, and I'm really excited. I hope I get one at launch. But
me too.
On
Ralph.
that note, keep it casual.
Bye.